Hi guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. We made it to Tuesday. It feels very Tuesday-y. Tuesday is normally my Monday, but not today, because I don't work today, which is weird. Usually Tuesday I always work. But I have big plans. Gotta get a lot of stuff done. I get an extra day off. Oh, I don't have chat up. Alright. I can't not have chat up. That's the main event. So wait till you see our judge today, guys. This is a judge you can only see here. Can't see him anywhere else. And he's so good. Hopefully he's good today. His stash, his hair, his beard, they are all very villain looking today. The judge looks like a villain. I love this judge. I just do. Wait till he moves. You'll see. It looks like he curled it up at the end, pointed, and his hair is sort of pointed in the back. You'll see once he starts moving around. Oh, my chat is not up. Just not. I thought I did it. Twitch is up. Live chat, not top chat. That way if Maria comes today, we see Maria. Hi, Maria. Maria's not here, but if she was here, I would say hi, Maria. All right, Judge Johnson, only here.
Cash. All right, now we're ready, ma'am. Ma'am?
Judge, this is Kendall Snyder, number 56 on the court's docket.
'23 CR 5591, People versus Snyder. Entries?
Anthony Santos for the people.
Nathan on behalf of Ms. Snyder. She appears in custody in person to my left.
All right, what are we doing today?
Judge,
Set
Ms.
for
Snyder,
sentencing.
that's correct. Ms. Snyder admitted to violating probation.
Yep.
We asked for a divert screen. Divert did not complete a screening. We're set for sentencing.
I didn't see that we asked for a divert screen. No, she was not eligible for divert as of November 18th.
Yes,
So
that's correct.
So she's not eligible. All right. Ms. Ramos?
Santos, Your Honor.
I'm sorry,
Sorry.
Santos. Long day.
Your Honor, at this point, there's not much more for me to kind of talk about. The defendant pled to a DF3 in the aggravated range on January 29th of 2024. She was sentenced to 3 years of probation. Essentially, she had 21 missed probation appointments, 19 hot UAs, 59 missed UAs, non-compliant with treatment. There's not much of an option here at this point. I don't know what the court is inclined to do, but I don't think a regrant of probation is on the table.
Well, we had a conversation in January of 24 saying that she talked me into giving her probation on that day. And we had a long talk about her being given chance after chance since 2019. And I told her then that if she blew this, we'd be going to prison. So that's kind of where we're at.
And Your Honor, that's essentially where I've landed. I don't see anything other than a DOC sentence at this point being appropriate given her actions on probation. The people would be asking for a Department of Corrections sentence within that range. Obviously, she's in the aggravated range of a DF3. I would leave it up to the court as to the amount of DOC. However, I will just note this is a 23 CR case and essentially a complete non-compliance. So that being said, Your Honor, the people would be asking for a sentence to the Department of Corrections.
Counsel?
Thank you, Your Honor. Understanding the court's foreshadowing just now, Ms. Snyder is asking that the court
Well, let's be clear. I'm not prejudging anything. I'm not foreshadowing anything. I quoted the conversation I had with her.
understanding that
Was I
Ms. Snyder is
texting
before
with
the
someone
court
else?
asking to be resentenced to
sorry.
probation and that the court impose a suspended 4-year DOC sentence. Ms. Snyder understands that she made a lot of mistakes, but she wants the court to know that her kind of issues with substances has not been kind of the easiest road for her. As the court can see, out of all of the, I want to say, 8 convictions Ms. Snyder has prior to this case, only 2 of them do not relate to alcohol or substance use. Clearly, this is something that Ms. Snyder's been struggling with for well over 5 years now at this point. Last court date, or rather when Ms. Snyder
It
admitted
looks like he's taking his shoes
to
off.
violating probation, a divert screen was requested. And I
No.
want to clarify that the reason that divert did not screen her, it's not that she's ineligible because of prior convictions or anything like that. My understanding is divert's policy, and I was mistaken as to this before, but that divert will only screen people if they have a new case and a revocation. Ms. Snyder has not picked up any new cases and is before the court on simply a revocation. Divert, frankly, is unfortunately the best situation for Ms. Snyder, understanding she can't get that sentence today. And so she's requesting that the court impose a sentence that would be similar to what divert would be. Intensive drug rehabilitation and treatment. As the court can see from the bottom of page 4 in the attachment to the complaint, Ms. Snyder had gone back and forth with many different providers. And when talking to her about why divert would have been a good option or why reinstating probation is an option she wants, Ms. Snyder indicates that she felt like she had stagnated in her rehabilitation. And when I asked her what that meant, she reports that she understands she needs a higher level of supervision. She needs a higher level of treatment. I remain hopeful that probation is the appropriate mechanism for someone who understands they have these types of issues and wants to get this help. I think the concern for Ms. Snyder, obviously, is that prison is not necessarily a place where people go to get the specific targeted interventions that she needs. And then we have this middle ground of community corrections. And Ms. Snyder, I think, appropriately is concerned that community corrections houses a lot of people who have similar issues to her, but also continue to use. And although the court can see, and I agree with Mr. Santos, obviously the record is clear. She had missed UAs, she had positive UAs. Again, I think it's important to emphasize that someone's issues with substance use are not like the type of thing that they can turn on and off like a light switch. Ms. Snyder has obviously asked this court for this type of chance before, and she struggled with it. But struggling is how people proceed on their road to recovery. And I want to emphasize the latter, kind of the last page of this addendum. Ms. Snyder turned herself into behavioral health, was doing classes as part of a targeted treatment intervention from the probation department. She made those efforts. She didn't blow that off. She proceeded into residential treatment with referrals to Hazelbrook Advanced Care. She didn't blow that off. She continued to make efforts to do that. This is the kind of person who understands she has a problem, understands she needs help, and has made those efforts. And so I don't necessarily agree that she has totally blown off probation here. Has she been perfect? Obviously not. But no
What was
one
it,
can be with the
52?
past, 6 years of substance use
Missed
that the court can
UAs?
clearly see
52?
from her PSI, or not PSI, from the pretrial services report. And so, Your Honor,
That's not an accident.
this really is a last opportunity. And she's asking that the court impose a sentence that models divert the best we can. Probation with drug and alcohol monitoring and 4 years suspended. Thank you.
He's never going to do it. Don't worry. Never.
Ma'am, you have the right to tell me anything you'd like me to know.
Your Honor,
I'm sorry?
I don't.
I'll also just add, I apologize for failing to mention, Ms. Snyder does have a stable address. She does have work opportunities that she has secured prior to being taken into custody. This is not someone that we're just throwing to nothing. She does have support in the community, and that's really what someone needs is access to these supports, access to the help, and that's what she's asking for. Thank you.
Nope. I have the transcript up. Hold on. She was sentenced to 3 years probation. She had 21 missed probation appointments, 19 failed UAs, 59 missed UAs. That's not an accident. That's not, oops, I made a mistake. That's just not a mistake.
All right, well, Ms. Snyder, I've said it before and I'll keep saying it again. I can only do what the legislature allows me to do. If the legislature decides they ever want to get serious and start putting money towards recovery and things like that, then the legislature will do it. As of right now, we've got probation, ComCore in prison. And we had this long conversation last time. Your attorney, you swore up and down this was it. You were ready. So we had the conversation. Oops. So all those chances and the extra chance that, your attorney is talking about, and I appreciate his arguments, but,
Monica Kelly, thanks for the cheers. Thank you. Thank you.
that was our conversation last time. So I guess I don't know what stagnating in treatment means. We're offered treatment. It was there.
I made a mistake, Your Honor, and I understand. I remember our conversation,
Yeah.
which is why it hurt so bad that I made this mistake, that I didn't pick up any extra cases. I missed one day that I should have been there, and I'm not saying it's anyone's fault but my own, and I know that, Your Honor. I just feel like I hope that you can rethink what I know that it's my fault. I can accept that. And if I get sent to prison today, I know that that's no one's fault but my own. But I'm asking, I did try and I was there for the classes and it wasn't perfect. But if I have to make it perfect this time, then I will, because I know what you mean. You mean what you say, and I understand that, but I'm not begging, but I am pleading to do it perfectly for you, to show you that this is what I want. This isn't something that I've forgotten about or just said because I want it out. Like, I did try, and I made one mistake, and I guess that's all I have to say.
It does have more people, Kelly, and I fast forwarded it to sort of the middle of the docket. So he's already been through a bunch of people. he has huge dockets, hundreds of people, 100 people or more.
Look, I don't know what one mistake means, what you even mean by that. You know, all right, so there's a handful of missed 21 appointments. All right, we call that, you know, probation's hard. I get it. One mistake, but then you've got, you know, fentanyl, cocaine, amphetamines, and other drugs on September 29th, June 7th, cocaine, then cocaine. You got 59 of 99 missed UAs. And, you know, you were put into outpatient substance abuse treatment. You failed to engage. So they sent you to
Bailiff is ready.
Hazelbrook, unsuccessfully discharged. And they tried to send you to IRT. You refused to sign the consent and you failed to enroll. So this isn't one mistake. Look, I've got no doubt. I have no doubt that you do mean what you say, and nothing I do today changes that. I'm going to sentence you to 3 years in the Department of Corrections. You've got a 1-year period of mandatory parole when you get out. If you really want to get a hold of this, you can do it. But for now, I'm going to give you the 3 years in the Department of Corrections. Do we have a pre-sentence confinement credit?
The amount in aggregate is 176 days, Judge.
At 176 days, and you know as well as I do, you don't do 3 years. We don't have truth in sentencing. So you're going to do less than a year. I'm not pretending that that's not a lot of time.
Me too,
But
Martha.
that's where we're at, and I hope I don't see you again in court. Good luck.
Got Mr. Suma, number 58.
Did you guys cycle out and take breaks? Nah, we've had a long, slow day. I'll keep going. Unless you tell me you think I need a break. 25 CR 2709, People versus Suma entries.
Wellesley's for the people.
Josh Lindell on behalf of Mr. Suma, who appears with me on bond.
All right, set for sentencing today.
We're prepared to proceed.
People are prepared.
All right, I reviewed the PSI dated December 5th, 2025. Any additions or corrections from the
No.
defense?
No additions or corrections.
From the
Prosecution?
people. No, Judge, thank you.
Mr. Aziz?
Your Honor, I guess as an initial matter, I'm a little concerned. The named victim, Mr. Grabchek, had indicated to me he intended to be here either virtually or in person. I also looked up the protection order here, petition that he had filed with Mr. Suma. Neither party, I don't think Mr. Suma was ever served, but Mr. Grabchek didn't appear either on a court date set on the 3rd of this month. So I'm just a little concerned because he's been very responsive. Looking to the people's request in this case is a little inverted from my read of the case. I'm asking for the court to impose 2 years of probation on Mr. Suma. Mr. Suma has 57 days of pre-sentence credit based upon the PSI. My concern here is Mr. Suma's history with this victim, with the family dynamics that are in play here. As the court recalls, I believe the court presided over the trial for which Mr. Suma was acquitted of assaults against Mr. Grabchek and Mr. Conuelos, I believe. This case involved allegation of VPO and burglary. As the court can see from, well, I'm not sure if the PSI fully reflects it, but Mr. Suma's commentary on what happened in this case with the VPO was that he thought his mother and stepfather were out of the house, so he could go to the home and collect some belongings, during which he found some alcohol, got drunk, and then was woken up by police. That is frankly a fraction, Your Honor, of what was going on in this case, wherein Mr. Canuelos, I'm saying that wrong, but he comes home, sees Mr. Suma in the house, knows there's a protection order, calls the police. They effectively declare a barricade, go in with SWAT, find Mr. Suma naked in the basement, and he resists arrest. This is a situation where officers filled out a use of force documentation could have ended tragically for either officers or Mr. Suma. And the thing about the PSI that jumped out at me is Mr. Suma saying, I want credit for time served so I can go back to my mother's house. Now, I understand that there may be other homes that his mother has in her possession in other states, but there's a toxic cocktail between the parental figures in this family and Mr. Suma that is headed towards disaster if these parties aren't at least kept separate. If they want to establish some sort of living arrangement that allows his mother to provide for Mr. Suma, but keeps
love
Mr. Grabchuk
cocktails.
safe, I invite them to do that. But as far as public safety goes, safety to this victim, and Mr. Suma getting whatever help he needs, whether it be substance abuse or mental health treatment, a credit for time served sentence, I think, is minimizing of what happened in this case. I do think the burglary would have been tough to prove. I do think that this was a likely outcome at trial. But I believe probation with the active protection order with Mr. Suma, given the opportunity to receive services, is the appropriate outcome here, and that's the people's request. Given my lack of contact with Mr. Grabchuk ahead of today's hearing, I'm asking to reserve restitution.
Mr. Lindell?
Yes, Your Honor, it is our request to close this matter with credit for time served. Mr. Suma has 57 days of credit. In the alternative, if Your Honor believes a jail sentence needs to be imposed in addition to that, we ask for the shortest possible jail sentence in order to close this case. I want to provide some additional context, as I have a very different read with the family dynamics in the case here. The number one thing to come to was that in the underlying case that we went to this trial on, Mr. Suma originally had an RJ offer, wanted to accept that RJ offer, and then got this case. And my understanding is that is the sole reason restorative justice was off the table. Mr. Suma and Mr. Grabchuk were both very on board with restorative justice and realized they've had a long history. They've had a fragmented relationship. They keep running into each other, literally and figuratively. And you hit a point where they were wanting to sit down and address it and squash this beef and understand where each other was coming from. And the way that very quickly that offer got pulled, and then we were in trial, and then we have this case, which is predicated off of a case that is now he's been acquitted of. This is just the lingering of that situation, but they're moving forward in a positive direction with, I believe, the spirit, though they're not talking, to my knowledge, he's honoring the protection order. They're not talking right now with the spirit that they want to go forward and hammer this out. Additionally, why we're asking for this way to close it specifically was because Mr. Suma is looking to get out of the state of Colorado, put some space between him and his family, because he understands when they're living on top of each other, there have been a lot of tense moments, and we keep ending up in situations like this, and that he thinks some space would be good. He's been at Ananeo sober living, mostly just for a very stable, safe environment that is away from everything. He's engaged with treatment. He's taking methadone right now and has found that to be extremely helpful. He is in a much better position, and while he has a very serious history, and I think the underlying allegations, especially in the case we went to trial on, were extremely serious, the trend over time is Mr. Suma's getting less violent crimes, whether that's less violent convictions, less violent criminal history over time. It is really honing in on that substance abuse is the continual kind of through line, the continual problem we've seen. And he's really taken the initiative to get treatment, stay on top of that, keep out of trouble. This case has been pending quite some time. I don't believe he's picked up any other cases. This case happened in very close proximity to the other one that was an unresolved situation and a misunderstanding about the protection order, where I believe if we had gone over it, if I had sat down with Mr. Suma and been even more explicit with the terms of that protection order, this whole case would have been avoided. I think everyone got ahead of themselves a little bit, understanding this case was going to restorative justice. He wanted to do restorative justice. That would dismiss the case. That would dismiss the protection order. That's where we were at the time this case occurred. And he essentially jumped the gun in doing that and wants to take full responsibility. He realizes that's a court order. I had it wrong. I messed up. I'm taking responsibility. That being said, it is the house he has lived. I don't think a burglary would have been provable at trial. And he has a lot of history with that house. So it's very emotional and frustrating. But he understands that he committed a crime. At the end of the day, he did about 60 days on this, which just in isolation, a violation of a protection order, whereupon he did not contact the victims. He specifically went at a time he believed they would not be there so that they would not interact, was very much in the spirit of the protection order, although is definitely a violation. And that all of that told, if this case pops up downstairs in a misdemeanor court as a violation of a protection order, as it is my opinion this case always has been and should have been, I think Mr. Suma's out with 30 days of in-home detention. So I think that 57 days credit for time served is an ample sentence to close this matter. And I believe Mr. Suma closing this without juggling probation between states and being able to put some distance between him and that family and reconnect without them being on top of each other is really the healthiest thing, both for Mr. Grabcheck and Mr. Suma going forward.
Thank you.
So you have the right to tell me anything you'd like me to know.
No, you got the most of it. I do want to say, I was looking forward to being out last summer. You know, I bought a little crotch rocket. I was ready to ride that around. And I did sit in jail all summer, you know, I was really bummed out about that over this. With that being said, you know, I know you got a lot of time and I hate taking up your time. So, you know, just,
Well, this is why I'm here.
yes, sir.
Well, I patently disagree that 57 days credit time served is and close the case is appropriate. I also don't believe there's any miscommunication or misunderstanding. You're a smart person. You knew exactly what you were doing and you understand the contents of the protection order. And even though picking a time you knew they weren't there, you knew that was a violation. You're not stupid. But really, my only decision is whether I just give you the, sentence you to jail on the M1 and just call it punishment and just punish you and be done, or probation with the suspending the remainder of the sentence. Where is it you think you're moving? 'Cause I hear a whole bunch of maybe I'm gonnas, and it's really hard for me to sentence on a maybe I'm gonna.
It kind of varies on what school I go into. Right now, I'm like almost, I don't want to enroll into any school, but I got Purdue open in our Indiana. I've got the Colorado Technical University out here for criminal justice. I'm kind of doing the peer navigator thing. And I want
I was
to,
told you wanted to leave the state, so I'm not sure why you'd be applying for schools in Colorado.
my mom's got a place in Gastonia, North Carolina. It's close to my sister and her family too. And I've been trying to get out there, kind of, like he said, give family some space, just, get a fresh start. There's a lot of things in Colorado besides this case that I really don't. I want to grow from, I want to separate myself and grow from. So I feel that probation, might get me stuck here, doing that.
Well, that's what I'm trying to drive in and drive down to. Are you actually leaving the state or are you not?
I would like to, yes. And if I'm able to, then yes.
All right. Well, we're going to keep it simple. I agree the situation between you and your stepfather is out of control. I think you're the cause of that. And I think you knew what you were doing on this date. So I'm just going to have you remanded today. You're going to do 270 days in the county jail. I'll give you credit for 57.
Can I just-
When you get out, you will be done. You won't have the probation, then you can get out of the state.
That's
That'll
a lot of
conclude
time
this matter.
for me, sir. I would love to do probation if I can. Me and my wife are like really getting back on good terms. I would love to continue doing that. I think going back to county is gonna be detrimental to everything I got going on. Your Honor, please.
Well, I hear you, but look, you picked up the Jeffco case, you picked up the Clear Creek case, you got all of this going on. You got to realize you violate these protection orders, we're done. You're just going to do jail time. You get out, you want to violate it again, we'll put you back in jail. If you don't violate it again, then you're going to be good. You got the 270 minus the 57. You're not going to do the full. You'll get your good time and earned time, and that'll conclude this matter.
Much time?
We'll reserve restitution we'll determine restitution within 63 days.
Yes, Judge.
We're also ready on Mr. Ford. Number 20.
Kelly, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Twenty-four CR 5881 People versus Anthony Ford. Entries?
Daniel Cohen, behalf of people.
Josh Lindell on behalf of Mr. Ford, who appears virtually with the court's permission. Did the court have a chance to review the update from Bridges?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that's essentially my record. We're asking to continue. It sounds like there is a real possibility we can get this set up to do out-of-state restoration through the provider that's currently providing, but that is not solidified right now, and I'm still working on setting it up. So we are pursuing that right now. Let me just ask for more time.
All right, Mr. Ford, can you hear us?
Yeah,
All right, so how much time do you think you need?
I would ask for just over a month. It's a little slow going communicating cross states, but we are in contact and we are working with Bridges as well. So I think like 45 days.
Cookie. Nom nom nom.
Who are we in touch with? Where is he, in Missouri?
Yes, it's BCJ Behavioral Health. That is the organization he's receiving therapy, medication, treatment through. So we're in contact with them. Bridges has reached out. I will be reaching out as well to follow up on Bridges' initial kind of touching base, making contact. And then the state, we have also talked to the state hospital, and they have offered to provide us the materials that we would then provide to BCJ.
So you want late January or early February?
Let's do early February.
February 2nd? February 2nd?
It's fine with people.
All right, I'm leaving notes for Judge Durancy that we're just reviewing to see whether or not we were able to set up out-of-state restoration. Parties stay in contact. If it can't happen, then we're going to have a plan B ready. So, all right. Mr. Ford, can you be in a position where you can appear remotely again on February 2nd?
yes.
All right, and I'm sorry you've been waiting, but so is everybody else. At least you've been waiting in your own place. Everyone else here is waiting and they've been paying for parking. So, all right, Judge Durancy, you'll see you on February 2nd, sir.
All right.
Thank you. All right, can we try to get some of these people out of here that have been here all morning?
That's me, Mr. Johnson.
All right,
Mr. Bunch, Judge,
number 11.
thank you.
Yes, I know what you mean, Kelly. I do.
Excuse me. All right, 25 CR 1455, People versus Bunch entries.
Daniel DeCecco for the people.
And Robert Halpern standing in for Robert Sweska on behalf of Mr. Bunch, who is present in custody today, Judge. Unfortunately, Community Corrections did not accept Mr. Bunch did not accept him. We're here for resentencing. I believe that given the rejection, the people are agreeing to 4 year, are recommending along with me the 4 years, which is the minimum. Mr. Bunch is serving out the remainder of a DOC sentence. He is asking the court to run this concurrent to that. He has about 90 days left until his mandatory release date. He has 279 days on this case already. That was what Mr. Sweska calculated. Mr. Bunch thinks it's 280 as of today, as including today. And the last request is, Judge, there had been a county court sentence, a misdemeanor sentence run concurrent if he was to be in community corrections. Because it's DOC, I'm just asking that that be just time served on that so that it doesn't impede his ability to perhaps get into community corrections through DOC.
It's a tough ask.
Judge, I can tell the court that he's been doing a lot of work in custody. He's got no write-ups.
So I told you all at sentencing, this was a 12-year DOC case. And I was willing to go along with the stipulation to 6 years for ComCore. Now you're asking me for 4.
Am I wrong, Judge? Again, I'm sort of stepping into the middle of this. My understanding was it was a range of 4 to 12. The court imposed the 6 years community corrections. And in those situations, sometimes the court will do less DOC time if he's rejected through no fault of his own. Well, not by getting kicked out of community corrections. But let me check to see if Mr. DeCecco.
And all that. That's technically accurate. I don't think anyone was really considering, and I was really considering that this was a 4-year matter. Mr. DeCecco?
I think we're on the same page. There was no stipulation to a certain time frame. I reluctantly said I wouldn't ask for more than 4, given he didn't have the opportunity to even try community corrections. But I certainly understand the court's hesitation. I would just ask that any sentence be consecutive to the 23 CR 5103 case.
Bunch, what do you think?
Excuse me, sir.
I said, what do you think?
I would like to there's something about well, to be honest, I learned a lot being incarcerated. I'm in college courses, classes. I have no write-ups. I just got reclassed November 10th. I got -2 points to be eligible for a minimum security level prison. I think I changed. I'm on parole now. Well, I could be on parole 90 days, which means I'm a low risk offender. I think I learned my lesson. I know what's right and what's wrong, and not to violate protection orders, not to just be single. I gave my life to God. I'm in church now. I got baptized last month at the church, at the compound. Everybody has seen I changed, you know what I'm saying? And that I'm in a program pod at Bent County. My case members speak highly of me. I have no negative crimes. I've been doing pretty good. I think that this turned out that I sat down for that year. I learned my lesson, Mr. Johnson, to be honest. My son, he's still changing me. He knows that I'm not gonna get back out and get high or be around the victim or harass or, I really just, I'm really focusing on my life. I'm getting too old for this, man, and I just feel like I deserve another chance out there in the community. And I hate the fact that the community rejected me because they didn't get the report, I guess, from DOC. They got it from the courts, or the review wasn't accurate or up to date about my progress in DOC. And I wish because that would have been a good thing for me to go to community corrections, because the parole board even referred me on my parole date to community corrections. But I had this detainer to take care of first, so um, I wish I could have went to community corrections, you know what I'm saying, where I can get out and save some money. I have my flag certificate, I have a job lined up when I get up out of here. I'm gonna continue my education in school. I got non-college credits to transfer to probably Metro, Denver. I have some goals to accomplish, man. And I'm just tired of being, locked up. I think I deserve a chance. I have changed, and I just want to get out and live my life, man. And if I do get a concurrent sentence, can it be to where I can get out on parole in 90 days? I'm parole eligible on my MRD, and I'm gonna mess that up because I know now what's not to do and what not to be around and what to bring me back to prison. But I don't like it there, but I made the best of it. I made my time wisely by reading books, taking my college courses. I have no write-ups, like I said. I can do an authorization release, so you can check my records at DOC. Uh, I'm doing good, man. I can do good on the outside also. At first it was a rocky road with you guys. I've been back and forth with you guys like 5 times on these writs. I refused one of them, but I learned my lesson. Just come and face it, be a man up. And
Monica,
I am
thank you
accountable
for
for
the
my
cheers.
behavior
Thank
in
you.
jail and out there, not in DOC. And I take full responsibility for what I did. And that little time I got, Mr. Johnson, hey, it's a lot that I accomplished more than most people. And I'm not trying to say I'm comfortable being in prison, but I did my time wisely. Uh, I'm around people that's doing life. In my party, doing like people never getting out, but they're comfortable where they're at. They're still stuck in because the streets is in there also. I don't get high in there because when I get back, I get drug tested. It's like the streets is still there. So if I can like avoid all that in there, I can avoid it on the outside. And I really do think the community corrections would have been a good thing for me because it'll keep me sober. My plans are, if I do get out, go to ENA groups, stay in church, and give me a sponsor to keep me in line, keep me focused. Because I am focused now, and people know that. Okay, 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 all right.
Your plans with regard to Ms. Fox Flores?
I don't talk to her. I don't even know her no more. I gotta just let it go. And it is let go. It's been let go since a year ago.
You didn't start picking up all you didn't become a habitual DV offender just with her as a victim.
I gotta learn to let go. I have to learn to let go, Your Honor, and
And you victimized a lot of women through your life. 2008, third degree assault DV, another one in 2010, third degree assault DV, threats, DV, trespass DV, tampering DV, VPOs, VPO, harassment DV.
I understand, sir. That was
I
then.
know you understand.
But this is-
You're a smart man. That's why I'm
Okay.
asking you.
What?
Look,
Okay,
this isn't rocket science.
okay.
I stand by what I said. The facts of the last case, plus your conduct while in jail, and attempting to and getting her to trying to get her to back off the case and not prosecute the case. You earned 12 years. I stand by that. Your history of abusing women for whatever reason, going hands on. Can't just have a simple argument. You go hands on. You've earned 12 years. I sentenced you on your last case. I put you in prison. And what I'm looking at, all right, so ComCore is out. Don't really understand why. But that leaves me with probation in prison. That means I put you back in prison, or I'm giving you a chance at probation and suspending the prison. But I can't be the one who picks up the newspaper because, yeah, I'm old school. I still read the newspaper. I sit down with my cup of coffee and I open
I
the
believe that.
newspaper, and all of a sudden I look
That
at the
checks
police
out.
blotter and I see Mr. Bunch
Oh, no,
picked up on a DV charge.
no, sir.
Well, I know you're going to say no now. You know, but your history is that for, you know, since at least 2002, going all the way back to Arkansas. But yeah, you're going to do it again and you're going to abuse another woman.
I think I learned my lesson, Your Honor. I stopped. I've seen the person that I was before. I'm a different person from now. I really am. I have learned my lesson. I proved it in DOC. I proved it just being honest and being accountable. Parole denied me. I took it like a man. They wanted me to do treatment in there, and I did that. I did that throughout the whole year with no write-ups. And I have changed. I don't want to like continue to like go back in the past, and that was then, this is now. This is a different person, Your Honor. Especially by me giving my life to God again, and I got baptized. I found the high power that can.
Well, look, you find,
Thank
look,
you, Judge.
that's between you and your higher power. I don't get involved, not my jurisdiction. All I know is lots of people who claim to believe in God do a lot of horrible things on this earth. So I really don't know what to do with that. You know,
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to give you the ability to Prove yourself or warehouse yourself. And you're going to be in control. I'm going to give you 4 years of probation,
Thank you, sir.
mandatory. Oh, don't thank me. Seriously, and I'm not trying to be rude.
I don't.
You know, you can thank me in one way. 4 years from now, you've successfully completed probation and not picked up a new DV crime. That way I can say, look, people can learn, people can change. Because if you don't, you end up victimizing another woman. Everyone's going to say, here's a criminal justice system, revolving door, blah, blah, blah. But in that case, you're slamming that door shut behind you for 12 years because I'm suspending the full 12 years. And if you pick up another DV crime, it will be consecutive to any other convictions you get. We clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know.
All right, 4 years of probation, suspend 12 years in the Department of Corrections. You still have your DOC hold, right? So why don't we, well, would it be cleaner if I made that probation consecutive to the 23 CR 5103, but concurrent with his parole? So that's what I'll do. We'll go consecutive to the DOC and 23 CR 5103, but concurrent with your parole. And I don't know what they're going to do about reporting, if you have to report to parole and probation, or if while you're on parole, they can do just one. I don't know. I don't care if they need you to report to 6 people. You do whatever it takes to successfully complete it.
Yes, sir.
Judge, there is that county court time.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Great.
But I appreciate you making sure I don't miss it. You know, we're really going to double down on it. On the M1, I'm also going to give you 4 years of probation. And I'm going to tell you right now that if you violate it and pick up another case, you're going to do 364 on the M1. And then your 12 years is going to be consecutive to that misdemeanor, because anything else would be unduly minimizing your conduct.
So do I stay with you?
But if you violate that jail sentence, going to eat up all your pre-sentence confinement, and then you do 12 years straight on the DOC.
Okay.
That's why I do that.
Your Honor, is there a way I can get the copy of the minimus in my hand, a paper copy? Because in DOC, they're not gonna give it to my case manager.
I don't think everything's going to be done until tomorrow. So I don't think I'd be able to give you that today. All the notes and everything aren't going to be done today.
Or best.
I gotta give it to my case manager because they're gonna.
You'll get it.
All right, 4 years of probation on the felony count and on the misdemeanor count concurrent with each other. Both of those are consecutive to 23 CR 5103, but concurrent with your parole. Don't come back and see me.
I'm not.
Good luck.
Probation. You're on probation on both counts.
Sir,
73, Mr. Tibbles. Ernest. And Judge, may I approach with a letter?
Mr.
Please.
Tibbles? He's a cat? If that's not a cat's name, I don't know what a cat's name is.
thank you. Sorry to make you wait this morning. '24 CR 3065, People versus Tibbles, entries.
Tom Walton for the people.
And Alan Whitlock appearing for Mr. Tibbles, who is present on bond. I'd also like to thank Mr. Michael Delgado, who is with Crossroads Turning Points in Pueblo. He is part of the staff there and was able to transport Mr. Tibbles up here and also wrote a letter for the court. We are prepared for sentencing.
Absolutely, Miss Doolittle. Absolutely.
Has the prosecution seen Mr. Delgado's letter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Walton?
Thank you, Your Honor. Throughout this case, at least in the beginning, the victim, Anthony Martinez, has been fairly punitive-minded about what an appropriate sentence would be. He has viewed the length of the case and in the early days, the numerous refusals to attend court as kind of a lack of accountability or taking this seriously. That said, after discussions with Mr. Whitlock, Mr. Martinez was receptive to the idea of a probationary sentence if Mr. Tibbles genuinely engaged in treatment and provided a heartfelt apology letter, which he has done at this point. I did speak with Mr. Martinez on Friday, provided him that letter, all the other details. I had expected to receive a statement from him prior to today, but he has not submitted that to us. At this point, based on the amount of time that Mr. Tibbles has spent in custody on the case already, the apparent progress he has made in treatment so far, and the letter submitted, which I do view as pretty genuine, the people would support a sentence to probation to allow Mr. Tibbles to continue to engage in treatment, kind of work on his sobriety, and continue to recover from that injury or loss of his leg, truly. Yeah, nothing further.
Counsel?
Thank you. Judge, first I would note the amount of time that Mr. Tibbles had sit in custody on this case, which was 490 days prior to his release. Second, I got on this case kind of late, and so I can't speak with Mr. Tibbles or speak to his relationship with prior counsel. What I can let the court know is that Mr. Tibbles was he was great to work with, and I think when he reviewed discovery with me, was genuinely shocked and very disturbed at the amount of damage he had caused to Mr. Martinez's face, breaking that orbital bone. That was not something that I believe that he was aware of early on in the case. Finally, I did submit multiple letters, progress reports, and then even referenced the unopposed motion for a personal recognizance bond that did contain mitigation and additional attachments for the court to review prior to sentencing today. I'm happy to answer any additional questions regarding that information. The last thing I can really let the court know is that I'm incredibly pleased with the progress he's making. I think the community that he's in Pueblo with right now is very incredible and supportive. And Ms. Pilarczyk, the resource advocate, who really deserves all the credit here, as well as Mr. Tibbles for taking advantage of that opportunity. She goes down to Pueblo quite often to visit clients and see how they're doing since they've been in the program. And what she was able to let me show by way of story is that when she got there one day, there was a bunch of individuals that were participating in the IRT program that were kind of resetting up one of the rooms, moving a bunch of furniture around. And one of those people was Mr. Tibbles. And he wasn't doing it from a wheelchair. He was doing it from the prosthetic device that he had since been fitted in after going down to Crossroads Pueblo. So they've been able to help him get that device. And what I took from that story is that he is part of this community and he's an active participant, just doing the little things on a day-to-day basis, like setting up the meeting rooms, doing a lot of different stuff. And it's just not about checking boxes for him. I believe she is on live stream today watching Mr. Tibbles' sentencing, not on WebEx. But I appreciate all the work that she's done on this case, as well as Mr. Tibbles taking advantage of the situation. We are asking for probation. I'm asking for the court not to impose any additional jail time, and I'm happy to answer any questions from the court.
So you already tell me anything you'd like me to know?
Yes, Your Honor. First of all, I just wanted to thank you for your public service, and you're one of the best judges that I've ever seen. You're very strict, fair, and that's all very, very honorable, Your Honor. And I just want to thank you for being one of those, because we don't have very many that's that strict and that's fair, because I do believe at times, some people's life, that whip needs to be cracked. It helped me see the way of my life now and what needed to change, the way I've been living. You can look at my records, almost 2 decades thick, Your Honor. I thank you for the opportunity and that chance to really work on things that I've been needing to work on since I was a child. Things that I've had bottled up that I've been running from my whole life. Seeing things that no kid have had to see, and brought me to do things with my life that I never would have thought I would have done. Situations that I feel horrible about, Your Honor, led me to this situation. Um, I'm sorry for being here. I'm sorry for putting myself in that situation. I'm sorry that another person was affected, that they were. I was blind to the fact that my community was always affected. Everything I did, even if there wasn't a victim per se, just my mentality and the way I went about living the life that I used to. I'm in treatment a lot of the times of the day, throughout the day. I've come to, at first it was horrible. It was rough. I had to figure out, why I did this certain situation, how I acted to this, why I responded that way, do a lot of self-reflection. There's a lot of that in this behavioral modification. And it was horrible. Still ashamed to some of the things that I've done with my life, but there's still hope. That program is amazing. I do take the initiative because I care, and there are some people there that just take it as a B&B, unfortunately, because they're young and they were dumb like me, and they haven't had that whip crick behind them. You look at my record, Your Honor, I skipped from halfway house to all that. Reason why I asked for prison, because I was easily impressionable. They say, you get a TV, you get to go do this. There's drugs everywhere. You get to go do that. I asked for it. That's how my mind was, get more credit and or false urbanisms, Your Honor. My life was messed up, and my way of thinking was messed up. And it's been totally different ever since I got shot, Your Honor. And thankfully, I'm here at this place that I need to be. I could have left a long time ago and paid my whatever time to the court, and that would have been made the court happy or whatever, and not been in trouble. I remained, I stayed, because I didn't like the person I was, and I know I'm destined to be something better. My mom died before I was in my teens. She told me just go to school, and I've been fleeing from that for a long, long time. The system raised me, and unfortunately, until now, it never really did any good until now. So I just want to thank you for that opportunity, because I didn't see any light out of being where I was in jail, not being able to get a prosthetic device, though they lied to me and told me they'd give me one once I cut it off. Once they cut it off, they're like, we don't do that. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I was just such in a dark hole that I've been in my whole life, and I've been able to realize that. And I got to change, not from just me, from my son. I'm back in contact with my family. Like, mending bridges, I've been running away for a long time. and working through all that, and I'm gonna keep working through it. And I just know for a fact that prison isn't gonna work for me. I've been there, you know, and I go to the high ones. I always go. Lyman, Buny, Sterling. Been there, and unfortunately, if I go back, that's where I'll be going. And it's really very hard to grow and get sometimes what a person really needs if it's real treatment based. It's possible, but it's really hard. And I want to wrap this up. I just want to thank you again. And I know what's best for me. I know if I stay in this program, that I will succeed. And I told you, just like you said, I don't want to feel like I have to be held to a certain amount of numbers if he goes out there and he messes up. And I totally said, what I accept that. And I have no problems of you going over the number to what my original sentence was, 15 years. I know that's over my head, and I just have too much on the line now. And I want to be something better, not for myself, but for my community. That's it. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Jude. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Where were we on restitution?
There is no restitution requested.
A whole lot to unpack here. I appreciate all you've done. I appreciate your apologies, everyone, but I think maybe you're in a headspace now that you realize that apologies doesn't take away this guy's broken orbital socket. Doesn't take away the fact he's gonna have migraines the
I
rest of his
have a
life.
microwave. The
You
reason
did that.
the reason I couldn't make coffee because I would have to walk to the microwave. And I just worked 2 doubles in a row and I got off. And there's no way my feet would take me to the microwave. It just wasn't going to happen. Nope, nope, nope.
What's your marker when you're no longer on this earth? What are you going to be remembered by? Well, if you outlive him, you're going to be remembered for that. But that doesn't have to be the sum total of everything. And I'm very happy to hear you're at where you're at. Don't get enough of this every day. I wish there were more.
I get that, Chinny. I get
people
why.
had the clarity and made the changes you have made, and that's a credit to you. Your attorney busted his rear end, got you into a good place. Mr. Walton, as a DA, went out on a limb and agreed to at least set it up so that you could do this. I went out on a limb to see if, we could do this. So you had a lot of people working for you, but in the end, it was you. So, congratulations. That's good for you. You should be proud of that. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the bad news is, I don't know that it gets easier. It can't even begin to compare to a drug addiction, but my little brother's been trying to quit smoking for 30 years. He'll stop for a couple of years, but the next thing you know, he picks it up and there it is right back in his hand. He didn't even realize he picked it up. So just as soon as you think you got it, you better double down on what it takes, what it took to get you there. Because as soon as you think you got it, you don't, and that's when you're going to mess up. All right. Well, look, I still stand by what I said. Your assault of the victim in this case was a prison sentence, and it earned a prison sentence. And that hasn't changed, at least for now. You're going to need to prove that you have changed. You know, they're saying that you've changed, there's feeling that you've changed, and then you know, what does I'm sorry mean? It means you stop doing it, and you're going to show me that you stopped doing it. And if you can't do it, you're going to prison. So I am going to give you 4 years of probation. You know, whatever substance abuse evaluation and treatment, you know, that's required by statute. With any luck, what you're doing, where you are, that can count, and they're not going to have to double up or, you know, send you back to something, you know, send you back to, quote, kindergarten, you know, something that's beneath where you are or doesn't fit your needs. And you pick up a new case in that 4 years, I'm suspending 10 years in the Department of Corrections. And I don't do that to be mean. I don't do that because I don't believe in you. I do that because, you know, if you can get through this, you've proved it, you've done it, you've earned it, and you walk away from this sentence. If it's a situation where 6 months from now, you're out victimizing someone else, well, you know, you got 10 years in this case. So, but I don't think we're going to get there. You know, it sounds like you got your head on straight for the first time in a long time. You know, there's probably a zillion philosophies on addiction and this, that, and the other. And over my 5 years here, I've come to believe, you know, the neuroscience behind addiction. And I think you've got to find another addiction. Guitar, gardening, something you can throw your addictive personality into. You know, so I hope you find that thing that can keep you on the straight and narrow, and quite frankly, living just a nice, happy, boring life without having to come in here and listen to schmucks like me. So report to probation at 303 West Colfax. There is no restitution in this case. Is there anything else from the prosecution?
Nothing further.
Vince?
To waive or suspend probation, supervision fees, fines, and costs, and to allow transfer of probation to Pueblo.
Well, because you pay the fees in Pueblo.
And I know that he's on Medicaid right now and won't be working until he at least
Well,
goes.
I'll waive the fees and costs that I can, except bail. That's a victim assistance fund. This is a victim case. You can pay. And when you make those payments, you can think about that victim.
Right.
Because that's healthy. All right.
Thank you. Nothing else.
Yeah. And if it goes, yeah, you can, as far as I'm concerned, you're going to transfer to Pueblo, but you got to start in Denver, and it's going to take time. And I don't know exactly how that works. But start in Denver, start at 303 West Colfax, tell them you're going to be transferring it to Pueblo, and they'll work with you. Mr. Delgado, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
No, he's going to report today. Mr. Hall?
Judge, this is Luis Ortega, 47 on the court's docket.
All right, 25 CR 2045, People versus Luis Ortega, entries.
Daniel Cohen on behalf of People.
Nathan, on behalf of Mr. Ortega, he appears in custody in person to my right. Judge, we're set for pretrial conference. Mr. Ortega is ready for trial.
People are ready as well.
I think we can, I believe we've previously set this for a 2-day trial. I maintain that's probably more time than necessary.
I agree.
All right, well, everyone stay tuned.
Yeah, I believe the court has another matter that week. Do you know where we'll be?
Nope, that's what we have today for. So I will send out the motion. I'll send out the coverage request today, and as soon as I find out who the covering judge is, I'll let you know.
Understood.
With any luck, we'll have an open courtroom and we can get Judge Durante her first trial.
What? Is
Sounds good.
he
I think
going
this
on
was already once
vacation?
supposed to be
Is
our
that what he
first
just
trial,
said?
so-
What's that?
I think this was already once supposed to be our first trial, so we'll try it again.
All right. Thanks, y'all.
January 6th.
I don't like my air fryer. I don't like the way anything tastes. None of it.
Yeah, what's going on with that? I don't know. All right, council.
I'm ready to call Mr. Samuel Williams, number 74 on the court's docket.
All right, 23 CR 4278, People versus Samuel Williams, entries.
Daniel the Checo for the people.
Michael Orlando appearing as a courtesy on behalf of Mr. Williams, who appears out of custody to my left.
Is the victim is Ella Mae Martinez on WebEx? I know she was thinking about joining.
I see no LMA Martinez.
All right, we can go on then.
All right, what are we doing today?
Your Honor, the defense's request would be to continue to trail the GS case in this matter.
Well, there's that. And then there's also the fact that Mr. Williams from the paperwork I'm getting from probation is
And Your Honor, if I may.
playing games. That's what I see. To be blunt, he's messing around. He's saying he's in two places. He's not in those places. He's not where he's supposed to be. He's not reporting as he's supposed to be. And if he's not going to report to probation, then I'm going to revoke his bond.
Your Honor, and my understanding is that Mr. Williams reported to probation on October 27th when he was released from custody. I understand that there was the issue with his address. He appeared with his next scheduled meeting for probation this morning. I believe the request from probation this morning was to give them a copy of his mail address to make sure that everything was appropriate.
And his unsuccessful discharge from treatment.
Additionally, on that 27th meeting, he was working with probation. They changed his treatment from IDEA to creative treatment. His treatment was supposed to begin in October, where he did his intake, and he's been meeting with them on Thursdays. My read of this is that, at least on the treatment aspect, that he's been going to treatment, and really probation just didn't have an idea of what was happening until they had their second meeting with him since being out of custody today.
Just left at 1 o'clock.
Now, look, you can dress it up and your attorney can make it seem pretty, but I read what they say. I read what you're telling them. You're joking around with them. You're playing around with them. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I get another report that reads anything like this, I am going to revoke your bond. You are not entitled to a bond on a probation revocation. And if I get any kind of report that you're being problematic on probation, I'm revoking your bond.
I can't be with these ankles. I can't be problematic, or they can come pick me up. They know everywhere.
I'm just telling you what's going to happen on the next date. I get a perfect report. You got nothing to worry about. We got problems on the report. You've got problems, and I'll deal with it at that time. Get straight with probation. Do what you're supposed to be doing, and you're going to stay out. I want you out. You want you out, and you can earn that, or you can mess it up. It's going to be completely up to you. When do you want to set the next date?
I would defer to the court on that. His next court date in the municipal case.
12/22. So I don't know what's going on after that.
My understanding is that Mr. Williams is interested in taking the municipal case to trial. I would just ask for a February 2nd date then.
And then why don't we loop in? Let's loop in on January 5th and see where we're at. Because then I'll get a good report from probation, see if things are going the way they're supposed to be going.
Well, I'm fine. I gotta do pre-trial and I got an ankle. I'm not doing nothing wrong. The morning.
Your Honor, on the 5th, can we do it at 8:30?
Yes, sir.
Be so dumb to do something stupid on 2 ankle monitors.
Contempt.
The most idiot thing ever.
Contempt.
You know, sir, sit in this courtroom long enough and you're going to see a lot of the most idiot things ever. So I appreciate what you're saying, but I just can't bank on that. So I've told you what I expect. I expect to see the next report from probation being he's a dream to supervise. I'll see you on January 5th at 8:30.
Mr. Hall, number 30.
Hmm. 25 CR 4775 entries.
Anthony Santos for Mr. Cheval for the people.
Josh Lindell on behalf of Mr. Hall, who appears with us in custody. We're requesting a continuance in this matter, 30 to 45 days. We got a social worker assigned and those records are starting to actually come in. We just need some more time to get that together.
February 9th,
That worked.
That works for the people.
8:30.
Yes, please.
I don't know. I wonder what it is.
All right. It's a long continuance. By then, we're going to be getting towards 180 days.
Understood. And then number 25, Mr. Gonzalez has been here all day.
Us too. Gilbert Gonzalez?
Yes.
He's been here all day. He'll note that I haven't taken a break.
Yeah, that was me
All right.
explaining why I'm calling two cases back to back right now.
22 CR 45481, People versus Gilbert Gonzalez. Entries?
Anthony Santos for the people.
Josh Lindell on behalf of Mr. Gonzalez. He submitted an application today, and we are just waiting to hear back on that. Based on my conversations with him, I anticipate that that will be approved. At this point, I'd just be asking to be appointed. And
Why'd you do it today? I told you back in November to do the application. I ordered you that day, complete the application on November 10th. Why'd you wait till today?
I didn't see you that day. I saw there was a lady.
Well, all right. Let's see here. I guess I still don't understand why you'd walk out of court and not apply, and you'd wait till the day you show up for court. That doesn't seem like the best planning.
Right. I have a TBI right now. Like a fourth month goes out of it right now, and like it's really painful a lot. Like there's times it's excruciating. Like I can't handle it sometimes, and I know it's not your guys' problem, but
Have you come back on January 5th to review that application, set it for entry of appearance of counsel? You want 8:30 or 1:30?
1:30, please.
All right, don't miss that date. We'll see you at 1:30 on January 5th.
Thank you.
Yes. If we could call number 3, Miss Aparicio.
This you?
I'm sorry, this is?
Number 3, Miss Aparicio.
'23 CR 1910, People versus Aparicio. Entries?
Anthony Santos for the people.
And Jake Black on behalf of Miss Aparicio, who's present on summons.
All right, what are we doing today with the status?
Your Honor, Miss Aparicio would enter an admission to the violation. We are requesting a PSI, would set over sentencing and request to continue the summons.
Do a PSI on an M1?
Yes, there's a potential 364 days. She has 2 days of credit. We would be asking for a PSI.
The camera angle's not right for the gold statue, but it will be next week. You know how it is. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. But what we do have is a judge with curly mustache, pointy beard, pointy hair.
Is that right, ma'am? You wish to admit that you violated your probation?
Maybe he's trying to look like the gold man.
Allegations are that you missed a couple of appointments as listed in the complaint, that you dropped some hot UAs. Those are also listed in various THC and combinations of THC, fentanyl, alcohol, cocaine, that you missed 13 of 39, and probably most importantly, you failing to actively participate in treatment due to lack of attendance. You're going to admit that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you're on probation for a class 1 misdemeanor, so you've got a maximum sentence of 364 days in the county jail.
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to have a hearing on these allegations? At that hearing, your attorney would represent you and the DA would have to prove the allegations by a preponderance of the evidence. Do you understand you have those rights?
Yes.
Are you thinking clearly today? Anybody make any promises to you to get you to make this admission?
No.
Anybody threatening you? All right, understanding the rights you're giving up, understanding the potential penalties, you still want to do this today?
Yes.
All right, I'll accept your admission, finding you have entered into it knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily. We'll order the PSI. And we'll set this for January 26th for sentencing.
For you.
You want 8:30 or 1:30?
8:30.
I'm not violating, I'm going to find you, I'm accepting your admission. I'm not revoking probation. You're still on probation. I've been working with a judge who's taken over for me for several months now. Anybody who thinks she's going to be softer than me
What?
is sorely mistaken.
No.
I got to tell her to ease off.
What just happened? What did he just say? No, come on. We just lost Judge Reeves. We can't lose Judge Eric. He's working with a judge who's taking over for him. What does that mean? He's not that old. He's not old enough to, like, retire.
If I'm the one telling someone to ease off, I suggest you get I suggest you get right with probation between now and then and show that you can do this. Otherwise, you're putting it in her hands. Don't know what she'll do, but she's not soft.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. It's okay. I hope he's just going on vacation, but do you train a judge to take over for you if you're just going on vacation? All right, guys, thank you so much for coming out today, watching Judge Eric. You can only see Judge Eric here, hopefully for a long, long time. Hopefully, yeah, maybe it's a long trip. That would be great. He deserves it. I'm going to set up OJ now, and I will talk to you all soon. Have a great day, guys. Bye.
Well, I thought I'd write a happy song. I found a chat room where I belong. You don't know how much it means to me. With such a groove, I'm less lonely. Oh, Kathy's the creator. She's leading the way. At Court Vibes, we laugh and we stay. Her smile shines bright. She's got that grace. Come join the fun. It's a welcoming place. I can count on distraction from my pain. 'Cause this creator takes you there and back again. Kathy is the heart here, always in stride. Her work is hard, but her joy she can't hide. Oh, Kathy's the creator, she's leading the way. At Court Vibes, we laugh and we stay. Her style is classy, she's always top shelf. Don't take my word, come and see for yourself. Her cases are new with a twist or two. I really like them, I believe you will too. A little lifeline passed along in rhyme. Why don't you join us? It's a guaranteed good time. Oh, Kathy's the creator, she's leading the way. At Court Vibes, we laugh and we stay. Her smile shines bright, she's got that grace. Come join the fun, it's a welcoming place. And so in conclusion, I'll wrap up this song. I hope I didn't miss anything that would be wrong. Hope I see you around. Don't stay on the shelf, join in the laughter. Come and see for yourself.